Hey Canucks fans, Brock Boeser has seemingly changed his game. So is it time for us to change our expectations of him? I'm Canuck Clay. This is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, March the 15th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Thanks to everyone who joined me for my stream last night. We also had a Canucks After Dark with Parker and me, and Carol in particular. She's been on a membership donation, membership gifting uh, heater right now. I think she's gifted between 30 and 40 memberships to people on the channel over the past 2 or 3 days. So welcome to all new members. I'll actually be going over some of the member benefits tonight during my live stream. So I hope you join me tonight at 11 p.m. for my live stream. We'll talk Canucks, we'll talk membership. And of course, thank you to Carol and everyone else who's been so generous over the past few days on my live streams. So last night, the Canucks defeat who did they beat last night? The Dallas Stars 5-2. And you guys are worrying about the tank. You know who's the anti-tank commanders? The Dallas Stars. We beat them twice in the past 2 weeks. We get to play them one more time. So yes, a 5-2 victory over the Dallas Stars. Just a few days after the Canucks won 5-2 in their previous game. And all these games are blurring together now. Oh yeah, they beat Ottawa on Saturday 5-2. And then also they beat Anaheim, they beat Toronto, and they beat another team in there, Nashville in there as well. So the Canucks have won 5 straight games, seemingly taking them out of the at least the race for legitimate chances to get Connor Bedard. You can still win the draft lottery, obviously, but the Canucks are not going to be in the bottom 4 tier of Chicago, Columbus, Anaheim, San Jose. And in fact, they're at the top of the next tier that includes Arizona, Montreal, St. Louis, and there's one other team in there as well. But really, Montreal. But yeah, I've always said that the Canucks, when they play average, they're not going to try and tank intentionally, but even when they play average, their average is a lot better than a lot of these other bottom teams' average play. So that's why the Canucks have been winning games, beating some weak teams, but beating some strong teams like Dallas, like Toronto as well. Now, a few observations very quickly about last night's game, and then we'll talk about Brock Boeser. So 3 observations that are non-Brock Boeser related. Number 1, Abbotsford really coming through. And that's guys like Phil DiGiuseppe scoring. That's guys like Niels Oman making beautiful, backwards, backhand, no-look passes. That's guys on the blue line like Wolanin and Breezebaugh contributing as well. So, yeah, some really good work being done in Abbotsford, and we're seeing it with a lot of the players that, whether you call them NHL regulars or they're simply not top of the lineup guys that, yeah, you wouldn't expect a guy from Abbotsford to be top of the lineup, but those guys are contributing as wonderful depth pieces, especially when you have so many guys out like Bear, Oyel, Dermott, Hronik, Mikheyev, and Pearson, to name a few. So that's number 1, is the Abbotsford guys are coming through. Secondly, very related to that, it's the defensemen. The defensemen are really stepping up. Without Bear, Dermott, and Oyel and Hronik, you only have Hughes and Myers as your legitimate regular defensemen. But look at Guillaume Breezebaugh scores his first NHL goal yesterday on a snipe. We got Noah Juleson laying a massive hit in that game last night. You have Christian Wolanin controlling the puck well every time he gets it and getting an assist last night. And you have Kyle Burrows, who not afraid to fight the opposing player's biggest guy or toughest guy and to stand up for his own teammates. So you have different elements of all 4 guys in Breezebaugh, Wolanin, Juleson, and Burrows, but they're certainly playing well on the blue line and actually making people forget about Oyel for a little bit right now. And of course, the play of Thatcher Demko, he's won 5 of the 6 games that he started since he's come back from injury. And this looks like to be the Thatcher Demko of old. But I want to spend a few minutes talking about Brock Boeser. Now, I'm going to admit that I was wrong. I was wrong not in the fact that I've never doubted his hockey IQ. I've never doubted his compete level, his actually defensive awareness. But one thing that I have doubted before is his passing ability. In fact, I know, I've said to people, I've said on this channel that he passes the puck like it's a grenade, that it always seems to explode either off of his stick or he passes it way too hard to his teammates. And basically, I kind of fed in this narrative that Boeser has to be a shoot first guy, and that's the way he can be most effective. So I admit to all of you, my friends out there, that I've said these things before, as recently as a few weeks ago. But you look at Boeser's game last night, 3 assists. So that brings him a couple things. Now he's over 300 points in his career, which is nothing to, that's a good accomplishment. And I'm sure he's going to get 600 points or 700 points in his career if he stays healthy. But interesting, with those 3 assists, and you have the last assist where he makes a beautiful play. He could have just dumped the puck behind the net, the Dallas net, but instead he curls, he fights off a check, and he finds JT Miller streaking in the middle, and Miller has a really nice shot. So that was one of his assists. Another one was that nice 3-way passing play, him, Garland, and Kuzmenko for Kuzmenko's power play goal. Another one was a pass to set up the 3-way between him, Miller, and Di Giuseppe. So a mix of primary assists and secondary assists. And all 3 of those goals, all 3 of those assists, we saw his playmaking ability and his ability to pass. So I admit that those are all 3 good passes. He had one chance to score, well, more than one chance, but his one chance that we remember was the one that rung off the post. But with his 3 assists last night, you guys, Boeser has 12 goals and 33 assists in 45 games. 45 points. So 12 goals, 33 assists, 45 points in 58 games. So a couple of things. That's the most assists he's had in a season. 45 in 58. He's quietly on a 0.78 points per game pace. 0.78 points per game, which is really good. It's basically 0.8. And coming into the season, his career was 121 goals, 135 assists, so 256 points in 354 games. That was also 0.79 points per game. So you guys, we might think that Boeser had a really slow start to the season, and from a goals perspective, he has, but he's right on his career average. He's at 0.78 points per game this season. Coming in the season, he was at 0.79 points per game. So he's basically doing his career average. But it's just the percentage of points, percentage of goals, I should say, or percentage of points that are goals, that's interesting. This year, with only 12 goals but 33 assists, 27% of his points are from goals. 27%. 1 out of every 4. Heading into the season, though, it was 121 goals in 256 points. That's 47%. So coming in the season, 47% of his points, basically half of his points were goals. And for this season, only a quarter, 27%. So from 47 to 27%, only 27% of his points this season are goals. So I can't sit here and tell you that he's a bad passer or that because 73% of his points this year are assists. And they're not fluky second assists where he doesn't really do anything in the play. No, these are plays that he's setting up with his playmaking, with his hockey IQ, with his vision, with his good hands, with his good board work. And that's what Rick Tocchet has said over the last few days is he likes Boeser's compete level. He wants, he wants him to win board battles. But the one thing he's been challenging Brock to do is do better on the forecheck. So it's not just Miller or it's not just Di Giuseppe on that second line. Now, we don't have to go into all the struggles that Brock has had between injury struggles and the loss of his father last year, loss of his father Duke last year. And obviously those things weigh on you, both the physical, the mental, the emotional. And there's been rumors and there's been stories that the Canucks have even given his agent permission to seek out a trade. So picture all those things kind of weighing on you. And Brock has said recently in interviews that it's been a tough year for him mentally. Yes, and he's got his $6.6 million contract for 2 more seasons after this. But he's producing at a 0.8 points per game clip. So extrapolated over a full season, he would be a 63-point guy this year. But because he missed 10 games earlier in the season, right? He's missed 8 games. He's only played in 58 of the 66 games. If he can continue at this pace for the remaining 16 games, he would wind up with 57 points. In 57 points in 70 games. So that's your 0.78 points per game percentage. And then that would be his career high. His previous career high was 56 points. And then he's had a 56 and a 55, and then a lot of seasons in the high 40s, 48, 49. So again, if Boeser continues his current pace, he will eclipse his high season mark he'll get 57 points, and he'll be doing so in only 74 games as opposed to the full 82. We can talk about his durability and his consistency in other vlogs, but today I just want to appreciate that Brock Boeser has gone over 300 points for his career. He's at 301 now, so 301 points, and I want to acknowledge that that he's been playing pretty good. Overshadowed, never as flashy as Kuzmenko, as Pettersson, as Miller, as Hughes, but he's been a solid secondary contributor. And I will admit that he's a much better passer than I've ever given him credit for. So Canucks fans, I guess, my question to you for this vlog is, do you see Brock Boeser as being part of the solution? Do you see him playing alongside with Pettersson, Hughes, Demko, Kuzmenko, Miller, all those guys for the next few years? Or do you think the Canucks should still try and trade him this summer? Because everything I just said about him, all the good things, could maybe make a team want to bring him onto their team. So many, always fascinating story with the Canucks, and certainly always a fascinating story with Brock Boeser. I like him a lot as a player. I like him a lot as a person. He's always been very kind to me when I meet him. But my question to you is do you think the Canucks should try to move him? And my admission to you here is I've never given him close enough credit for how good of a passer and playmaker he actually is. So Canucks fans, let me know your thoughts about Brock Boeser. Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to redirect and reply as always. Shout out to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss, and Van City Experts, Real Estate. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame, and all of you new and old franchise members. I appreciate all of your support and all of you watching. Always appreciate you. Never take you for granted. So on your way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, and I hope to see you tonight at 11 p.m. for my nightly live stream. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.